My name is Mike, and this happened last year when my fiancée and I bought our first starter home together. We're an Asian couple, which is relevant to the story. It was a small two-story house in a basic suburban town in Georgia. There was nothing special about it, but to us, it was supposed to be special. It was a typical quiet street, decent backyard, cheap fence, and regular-looking houses lined up next to each other. The neighbor on our right side was a friendly older man. The neighbor across the street waved, but the house on our left was different. We didn't see anyone come out of it for the first few days. The curtains were always shut. One afternoon, I looked over and saw a man standing behind the curtain, only half visible, but totally watching us. He didn't wave. Over the next week, we started noticing him more often, not outside, but inside his house, standing in his living room window. One night, around midnight, I saw him in his upstairs window. This time, he wasn't halfway hidden, he was fully visible. He stood straight up with his face turned toward our bedroom window. The next morning, the man came to our door. He introduced himself as Gordon. He apologized for looking like he was spying. He smiled the whole time, but there was something slightly off about it. A week later, my fiancée shook me awake telling me she heard someone in the yard. I looked outside and saw a full-grown man walking around our yard. As soon as I yelled, the person walked fast toward the gate and slammed it shut. A few nights after that, the same thing happened again. Someone was shimmying something. I saw someone in the backyard. I yelled that I was calling the cops. The person walked out, and I saw enough of the man's face to know it looked exactly like Gordon. He came over again and invited us for Chinese food. The atmosphere felt uncomfortable. Gordon seemed intoxicated. He made little passive-aggressive comments. Then he got louder and more angry, talking about how this town had a history of being white. He yelled at us that we were not welcome there. We walked back to our house as fast as we could. Then one night, a brick was thrown through our downstairs window, shattering glass all over the living room. We knew it was Gordon. The police came, but he denied everything. Not even 2 months after moving in, we started packing again. We moved out, knowing we lived next to a murderer still haunts us. This story happened a couple of years ago, around late 2021.
I promised.
My name is Noah, and me and my fiancée, Gabby, moved into a new house in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The neighbors that lived to the right of us seemed the friendliest. The husband's name was Daniel, and his wife was named Veronica. They even baked us a red velvet cake as a welcoming gift. One night, around 11 p.m., I heard shouting coming from outside. I looked out my bedroom window and it was coming from their house, like they were arguing. Eventually, I saw Veronica storm out to her car and leave. Then, one day, I noticed Veronica's car wasn't there for a few days. Daniel was still there, but it became a week, then 2 weeks, and Veronica's car was still gone. Daniel was acting weird. Every time we saw him, he would try to avoid us. After 3 weeks of Veronica being gone, I decided to go over and ask Daniel how things were. It took him almost 3 minutes to answer. He was sweating like he just ran a marathon. He had this weird, forced smile. He said she went to stay with her mom. But then, I heard a voice screaming from somewhere inside the house. It was a woman's voice yelling for help. Daniel quickly said, "Oh, I'm playing a movie upstairs." I called the cops. Officers were everywhere. Daniel was being taken away in handcuffs while Veronica was being rushed to the ambulance on a stretcher. We later found out Daniel kept her locked in the basement for weeks, abusing her. When I heard that scream, he had stabbed her 5 times. Veronica didn't survive. As Daniel was being escorted, he said, "I know it was you who snitched on me, and you'll regret this." Fast forward a couple of nights after the incident, I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw the silhouette of Daniel.
He said, "I told you you would regret this." He was holding a knife. He lunged at me. And then I woke up. It was a bad dream, but the words he said were the exact same ones.